Hey guys, this is Rollout with Rollout Reviews, back with another casual DX Kamen Rider Ghost unboxing. This one is a little different, and maybe a little bit more brief, cause this is an interesting release. For one reason or another, Bandai decided to pack in one of the Ghost Change accessories with one of the DX icons. This is the DX Machine Hoodie and Houdini Ghost Icon set. Bandai does this, unfortunately, often. Last year, they packed in one of Kamen Rider Drive's shift cars with the DX Trideron, which was this big kind of centerpiece of the toy line that was pretty expensive. And this isn't nearly as bad. It's a little bit cheaper, actually an awful lot cheaper than that was, but it's still a little smarmy, because I'm not collecting the Ghost Change line, but I am collecting the DX icons. But as some kind of marketing ploy, they decided to pack the two together, so you're kind of stuck with having both. I don't know what I'm going to do with the bike. I'll probably sell it at some point alone, which does bring up another interesting point. If you aren't collecting the DX Icon line, the roleplay toys, and just want the Machine Hoodie, Kamen Rider Spectre's bike that turns into the Houdini Damashi, then it shouldn't be that difficult to actually find, because I already know that there are several people buying this set just for the icon and selling off the bike, just like myself. So, bittersweet. Good news for some people, bad news for others. It's just a weird set, and I don't know how I'm going to go about this. I'll probably take a look at the bike and show off everything it does, but I do not have the Ghost Change Spectre figure or the Ghost Change Ghost figure, so it won't be a full demonstration, and I apologize for that, but let's crack in. So, yeah, the Ghost Change line is kind of the main action figure toy line at the moment. You know, lower quality than Figuarts. They're just kind of for the kids, I guess. And it kind of replicates the hoodie swapping gimmick from the show, where whenever they use the icon in their belt, a new kind of parka or hoodie comes over them to resemble the form, resemble the icon in a way. And like I said, this comes with the icon for the belt, and then also comes with the hoodie for the action figure. So I am going to have to bring down the camera here in just a second, but let me cut the tape so I know what I'm dealing with. All right, give me just a second. We'll sort this out, fix the lighting if we can, and run back around. What? 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 All the lights just went out. Unexpected. Give me a minute. Well, that was a first. One of my surge protectors that all of my lights are hooked up to just sort of died? I don't know. I had to go get another one and sort things out. But we're back. That was scary for a second, but we are back. So let's continue here. You have the instructions, which actually might be necessary in this case, showing us how to transform things and whatnot. For a moment, I thought this video was cursed or something, but we're back online, so everything should be good to go. Anyway, here is basically the only reason I got this set, the DX Houdini Eyecon, number 13. I'll take a look at this here in a second after I sort everything out with the bike. Alright, so right here is the Parka itself. This is kind of annoying. that they're in all of these little bags here. For a second, I thought they were sealed, which would not be good, because if I do decide to sell this, I kind of want to have everything in the bags. Let's see if any of them are sealed. No, they aren't. Okay, good. So I can take a look at them and then put them back in the bags, and that won't be too much of a problem. But here is kind of the jacket assembly itself. It's got a little plastic thing in here so it doesn't get bent up in the package. The front section here is kind of rubbery. Back section here is solid plastic. This comes up, and we'll go over the figure like that. Houdini form, you know, of course, Houdini. I didn't even explain who he is because I think it's pretty obvious. He's a very famous, you know, magician, and he specialized in escape tricks, so the form has chains all over it, which is very, very cool. Interestingly enough, you know, Houdini was very, very skeptical about the supernatural, and yet here he is as a spirit, as a ghost in the Ghost Change line. So that's kind of interesting. He does seem very temperamental in the show. He does seem very stubborn and won't work for Spectre at the start. So, yeah, the fact that he was such a big skeptic could be the reason for that. But anyway, here's the hood section itself. It's got the shoulder pads, and they're also the sides of the motorcycle itself once we get into motorcycle mode. I was not expecting the faceplate here to be so dark, which is interesting. The faceplate of Houdini, you'll see it on the icon here in a second, just has some chains and has kind of a padlock in the center. But this is so dark. I guess that shows up much better when you put it on the figure and there's some silver plastic or silver paint underneath it to make it shine through better. But as is, yeah, that's what that looks like. Houdini form has much bigger horns than Spectre usually has. This is sort of Spectre's first real upgrade, kind of very similar to a Boost, but not quite as game-changing, I guess. It is sort of just a standard Parka, but it is very special in some strange ways, which is sort of interesting, because I don't know why Houdini is special enough to get this super form that's so much different than any of the others. Maybe I played with the idea, maybe his skepticism and his denial of this entire situation empowers him in some way. I don't know. Maybe he's just pissed about the whole situation, and because of that he gets more powerful, kind of like a poltergeist or something. An angry ghost. I guess poltergeist just means a ghost that makes noise, but whatever. Anyway, here is the majority of the bike itself. The bike kind of splits in half and turns into like a jetpack, like a VTOL jetpack for Houdini form, which again doesn't really have much to do with Houdini. As I understand, Houdini was interested in aviation a lot, but I don't think that's a very important part about his fame. So I don't know why he's got like a weird VTOL aerial jetpack that also turns into like a hoverboard for Houdini, but it is what it is. So let's turn it into the bike first. You just kind of fold that in half. That seems simple enough. Actually, I do think the jacket itself plugs on in some way. Yeah, you have this little section here, and then the jacket, there's a little peg on the back, and it goes on there like that, and then this whole thing folds up, and the jacket is inside of there, and then I think this flips down, and that sort of becomes the front light of the motorcycle, I suppose. And then I think these sections on the side flip up, and it pegs on to the front, just like that. And there is the machine Hoodie. So if you do have the Spectre figure, the Ghost Change Spectre figure, you now have a bike for him. The wheels roll, it seems. We've got wheels that roll around the center sections here, so that's kind of how that works. I think the wheels actually do peg together here if you line them up properly. Actually, no, they just very loosely peg together. So the two halves of the wheel don't spin in tandem. Just the center section pegs together, not the wheel itself. So yeah, I don't know. It looks pretty cool. Like I said, it's got chains all over it, which very much reminds me of Kamen Rider Kiva, who had a chain theme going on. The theme song for that show is called Break the Chain, so that's kind of what it reminds me of, with the chains all over the place. But of course, it's referring to Houdini being this escape artist. And then you can't really pull this apart when this front section is attached, and I suppose that's part of the idea. But you pull that off, you open this up like that, and then you pull these shoulder pads down, flip this up, and there's two pegs on the bottom here, which peg into holes on the top there. So you can still have the hoodie itself, the parka, the ghost parka, without having the figure, which is kind of nice, but I'll talk about that in a second. Yeah, they sort of just... It doesn't peg on very well. I'm sure it pegs on much better with the figure in place. But it just kind of sits in there. And that's the hoodie. A little unfortunate that because of the bike transformation gimmick, when you flip this down, it's just the headlight there instead of the spooky ghost eyes that all of the other parkas have. Because it would have been nice for a laugh just to kind of have the Houdini parka with the eyes without Spectre wearing it. But unfortunately, that's not really possible because of just the way the bike transformation works. But then you can pull this off. Again, this doesn't really attach very well. It kind of does require the figure to peg on solidly, but then you can have Spectre ride on top of this as well, sort of like a hoverboard, and his final rider kick shoots chains at the opponent, wraps him up in them, and then he kicks him, and it's awesome. But yeah, that is really it for the bike. Again, a little unfortunate that I don't have the figure, so I can't show off the full potential of this, but it does seem pretty cool in some ways. I guess my biggest complaint is that the jetpack section sticks off so far from the jacket itself, and when Houdini form just kind of stands there, this whole section is much smaller in the show. Looks a little bit less ridiculous, but the detail is kind of cool. It has like chains inside there. None of it's painted, but it does look pretty cool, and of course you have like the VTOL engines there, or propellers at least. So yeah, I don't know. Kind of a cool thing, but I'm not collecting this toy line, so I don't get too much out of it. With that out of the way, however, hopefully I showed that off sufficiently for anybody who does have those figures and is interested in that item in this set alone. But really, like I've said multiple times, the reason I got this set is for the DX Houdini Eyecon, so let us check that out. Once again, another blue icon for Spectre. He's got many blue forms. That seems to kind of be his thing. Of course, you have the main form here, which is blue. Of course, the icon casing is black, but you know, that's blue. And then, of course, you have Kamen, which is kind of like a cyan or cerulean kind of color. I don't know. Lapis, maybe. I think Lapis is much more blue than that anyway. But it's some other kind of blue color. And then, of course, you have Nobunaga, which is purple, but that's kind of in the same spectrum. So yeah, very similarly colored forms as far as Spectre goes. But let's click this icon, take a look at the faces, and then put it in the driver. So once again, you have the blue iris because this is one of Spectre's icons there. It is number 13, which is also very funny just because it's Houdini. Like I've said, he's a very skeptical person. He was very skeptical about supernatural and omens and things, and 13 is considered an unlucky number, so it just figures that he'd get that number. And then you have the chains on the face and the padlock in the center there. Click that. Yes, it is number 13 there. There's the face once again. And then here's the special attack with the chains. And I guess I guess it's breaking the chains. So once again, reminds me of Kiva with the chain motif, and especially the breaking the chain motif. And then we're back to the iris. So let's make sure Ghost Driver is on. And let's put it in. Spectre jingle there. That's pretty catchy. Of course, it has the purple bluish lights there. The phrase says something about being a master magician. I don't know. I'll of course have the translation down there in text. I did not bring my phone with me into this room for this video. I'll have that for the other videos I filmed today. But yeah, Houdini. I really like that sound. Actually, I like that sound better in person than I did listening to it in videos. So it's got that going for it, I suppose. And then Houdini! Yep, the Omeidama is the same as all the others, and, you know, the sound for the attack is the same as all the others. It, again, is very weird to me that Houdini is such a special form that kind of functions differently than the others. He's not just a parka, he is trapped inside of a bike for some reason that turns into a VTOL jet backpack. And the icon itself really doesn't resemble that in any way. It's not really special like the boost icon was. It's very similar to all the others. So the fact that it is such a much more powerful form, kind of weird to me. But there that is. It is also worth... Don't you interrupt me. I guess I interrupted it. But anyway, it is kind of weird also. I'm noticing the holographic effect on the top and even on the face itself is a little bit different than your average icon. This here kind of has a very flaky looking effect. Sort of a digital looking holographic effect going on there. And this one is very kind of clean and just sleek and just kind of standard. It's kind of a standard shine to it, which is sort of weird. And I mean, if it's gonna be different anyway than the other DX icons, maybe it is just worth getting the Gashapon or Candy Toy version that doesn't come with the bike. It'll be much cheaper that way, because it's going to be different from the others regardless. Here it is compared to the boost icon, and it's not quite similar to that either. This kind of reminds me, for anybody who collects, you know, card games, these kind of remind me of like holographic Vanguard cards. This reminds me of like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Secret Rare kind of shine to it. And this is kind of just like a standard Yu-Gi-Oh! Like super rare. So if you do, you know, collect card games, then that kind of gives you an idea of what those are like in person. But yeah, there is the DX Houdini icon, along with the the machine Hoodie. So here are all of Spectre's icons so far, and I think all of the icons he'll be getting until, like, probably his final form. Much less icons than Ghost has, and Necrom seems to have even less, the third rider of the show. Let me transform the bike back into a bike here, and I'll let you go. Pretty simple to transform, kind of a very similar feeling transformation to the Ghost gadgets. So, you know, it's pretty fun, very simple to transform, and I do think that that anybody who is collecting the toy line may enjoy this. I just don't have any form of reference. It does have a kickstand, by the way, something I did not show off before. But anyway, that is about it, guys, and this is IX Roll It IX, signing off.